L2. Get the hint. It's over. Pink Shorts is filmed in front of a live democracy. Republic, both. Exposed and approved. Thank you for writing MRail, the new safety video. This is Auditorium Station. Auditory nerve. I see this information. This is Pink Shorts. The use, the us, of my client's medulla, my primary motor cortex, my primary visual, my primary auditory, my arcuate fasciculus, my hippocampus, my reticle, my bracha, my angular gyrus, or any other part of the left or right hemisphere. All the brain is in agreement. Discretion of all content obtained will be used by Merriweather businesses. All. We're better than TMZ. Reach us at 594-1443. California's recording law, two-party consent law, makes it a crime to record or eavesdrop on any confidential communication. We're in scandal with Time Warner, including a private conversation, a telephone call, anything that hangs from trees, Google Hangouts, Google Hangouts, without the consent of all parties to the conversation, is in violation of Penal Code 632. We're not. Statute of limitations don't apply. We'll explain that in the next 40 minutes. We're in scandal. Intrusion claims in California last for 2 years, according to Code Section 335.1, or January 18th, 3:34 a.m., or June 19th, 10 p.m. We are watching Face the Nation as we speak. Intrusion upon seclusion reference Howell versus New York postcode. This is a live email you've received. An intrusion is a special form of invasion of privacy. It applies when someone intentionally intrudes physically upon solitude or seclusion. You're already saying it. Of another. In moist states, to make an intrusion on seclusion claim, a plaintiff must generally establish four elements. First, defendant without authorization must have intentionally invaded the private affairs of the plaintiff or a babysitting business. Check. Second, invasion must be offensive to a reasonable person or a babysitting business. Check. Third, the matter must involve a private matter or a babysitting business. Fourth and finally, the intrusion must have caused mental anguish. Tooth tightening, the need of an emergency dentist, aneurysms, blood vessel tightenings, affecting the immune system, affecting the nervous system, the circulatory system of the body, ang- mental anguish or suffering to the plaintiff is. Please refer to mass tort claims, intrusion upon seclusion. I'm the attorney guy. Thank you, attorney guy. I am Alan Merriweather. I'm very excited to do today's show. I'm wearing Savvy from head to toe. We bought some new Savvy things, and I want to say thank you. I did everything you wanted me to do. I'm the richest man in the world, motivational speaker. Please remember 311 to speed your screening process. I was chosen because I'm from the first lever machine in Lockport. Hello, Yahoo, and Yahoo's new servers in Lockport, New York. The NSA metadata sharing. Securitas, Lockport. Please remember 311. All liquids must be in line in a 3-ounce size container. Petri dish. Petri dishes are in a diameter shape, diabetes shape. Add an S before diameter. Add an S before Dial America. I only stayed to train and I quit. I quit at the training. Let's take a moment of silence to figure out why. Let's take a moment of silence. I don't know. Why did you quit? Well, I can't really say. Let's see if Twitter knows. Well, we only stayed for training because it's an experiment, you know? Experiments are only meant for training purposes. We stayed for a little bit and they gave us a check. from M&T. And M&T, yeah. And we cashed that. We cashed that check from manufacturers and traders. It's in the communicable. I am the highest paid singer in the world. Please remember 2511. Wire, oral, and electronic communication prohibited. Route 25 goes straight. Route 11 makes a right on Amherst Street. Yes, this is Sunoco at this intersection. Again, I'm the highest paid singer in the world. Tweet us via early or late at FRESH underscore. It is CBS, thank you. Underscore, it's both. Democratic and Republican. Tweet us again at FRESH underscore JORDNZ. We're listening to CBS at the same time every 20 minutes of the hour. Remember to paint the short way. Use your phone. I saved all the files you needed. Save me some of that peach cobbler. Save me a whole pie and a half a pie. Happy birthday. Today's show is sponsored by MerriweatherA.Law, America's first thinking attorney. We make the law soundtrack sound wonderful the way it should have been. Besides everything. Choose a side now. I want you to go. Okay. We're with everything. I love this song. Today's show is sponsored by QRM Agency, Social Media Abdwa, America. Use your phones and vote. Close the doors. Seat belts. The music will sink into the sound system. Temperature's on 67 degrees. Oh, look, the NSA is on our phone. The NSA turned our camera phones on. They can do that. That's cool. But we're going to tell the public what you can do with these phones as well. Microphones off, even when the phones are off. Please place these phones in other rooms. It's NSA spy technology. We're in a new 2007 luxury from me to you. You can roll your windows up, you can roll your windows down. You can ride with us to get the finer things in life. My co-host tonight is Currency. Hi, everybody. That's me. Yeah, because we're talking to the White House on these phones. So, yada yada. MAC address. It's live. Thank you, Anonymous. Hello, Putin. Eulatas perjury. Someone's name is in your name. Yeah, it's him. It's his. It's his name. It's 18 numbers. You got 218 1000. That's Nelson Hopkins' phone number. Right? You got 218. You got two social security numbers. Yeah, you got 218 numbers and 1000. Common law forgery. It's a felony if it's over $1,000. It's $1,000. It's considered a felony. That's why it's 1000. Well, you got two felonies, two identities, and it's over $1,000. Yeah, his salary is at least a few $1,000,000. I don't know how much his salary is, but he's rich. He's a rich guy. So you got over $1,000 using 218 numbers. Yeah, that's a felony. We'll talk to them about felonies in a minute. Yeah, that's $1,000. Today's show is Pink Short. Oh, I forgot to say PH or J. Oh, Vim. That's correct. Da, 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 da. You got $1,000. How much is your salary? Da, da, da. How much is your salary? It's over 1,000. Hello, V Siri. Yeah, it's over 1,000. How much is your salary? Oh, look, Fox News tweeted. Fox News says yes, his salary is over $1,000. We are 218 numbers. Da, 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 da. Oh, well, you got it here first. 218, 1,000. You be neurology. Right, I think it's the assistants. They get paid more than $1,000. Well, they're frauding with their minds. Fraud. Today's show is Pink Shorts. Adobe Willustrator Pre featuring Nicole Blow Wacky. Take a moment of silence to figure that out. Kaboom! That's it. Today's show is a resume of myself, someone else, someone else, someone else, someone else, someone else, someone else. We left off making a left turn from Kenmore to Delaware. Today's show is my resume in declining Dial America, Time Warner Tech Support, and Time Warner Direct Sales Representative, and DSW Shoes, and Direct Energy Weapons. Dude, I'm not a witness of anything. New Line Cinema, and New Sean Williams. Today's show is MerriweatherA.Law, Soundtruck, V Mary O2 Niagara, V Mary O2138, V Mary O2138 Harvard Law School, zip code, V Mary O2 Niagara, Harvard runs the country. V Siri, the voice of Pink Shorts, V Alley, the West Valley Demonstration Project, and someone's first car, an acclaim. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Well, my first car was also a demonstration as well. We all have demonstration vehicles. Today's show is CDMA. Please find the missing C in CDMA. Is this what is after CD? You got it. CDCMA. CDCFATEHER. Erica Reed and Charles. And GSM Global System for Mobile. Patented Global Technology. Patented Tent City. Patented Tent City. It's patented. You know, we made it. Ethnicities must separate. Email Title VI HSBCSE this iPhone Mation. Or 1048 refund. Mistakes in programming differences. Part L2. Miles wide the only way. Sponsored by the Ooey Chewy Ooey 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 Chewy Ooey 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 Hot Pocket Sub Sandwiches featuring Miss Conniff rides the 40 to work. The first Niagara. And Millie Sanchez. I think that's what we're trying to say here. Millie Sanchez sandwiches. Yeah, Millie Sanchez. Today's show is sponsored by MerriweatherA.Law, law firm and salary advances, sub-prorated bonuses, tuition and bar exam review courses reimbursement, relocation and real estate benefits, acquisition interest apply within, stay all qualifications. We don't pay full price, revenue incentives, or donate to Title VI HSBCSE with iPhone Nation. Loan forgiveness. Join us from America's top law schools. Pay grades start at 200,000 from an unknown source. We were. We was. And we've moved on. Pay grades go up to $400,000 within year 4. Sponsored by VSA Titled Album. Available on YouTube, bro. Try it for 3 months free. Featuring our latest song, 18 Numbers. I forgot to put that here. We have a new song that was released yesterday. VS 18 Numbers. The second, right? Second, 2016. L2, right? L3. That's Nelson Hopkins number 716-218-1000. Anything over 1,000 is considered a felony in any money you obtain. Stealing my mind. Oh, look, it's Mitt Romney. Hello, Mr. Romney. Well, let's finish our intro and then we can listen to them. We have the White House on standby. All right, let's get to the show. We are watching CBS This Morning. Face the Nation. Please place all pepper spray products away from client. Suggest an aborted. Hello, Mitt Romney. It's Fulton. All right, let's get to
All right. Good afternoon, everybody.
good morning.
Happy Friday. I do not have any announcements at the top.
Date
So
of video
your
is July
questions.
1st,
Kathleen, you want to start?
2016. White House press briefing.
Start with, if you have any update on the Istanbul attack, if you could confirm these reports, the man behind it, was it 3 months?
I've seen some of these reports. I'm not in a position to confirm them at this point. Obviously, this is a Turkish-led investigation. U.S. officials are devoting significant time and energy and attention to learning what we can about this incident as well. And when we have information that we think could be useful to Turkish investigators, we will share it with them. But at this point, I don't have an updated assessment to share.
So was Chairman McCall
It is.
off base or out?
Oh, I spelled it wrong here.
I've seen some of his comments.
Well,
but,
Dial America is
you'd have
a
to ask Anne Marie's
telemarketing
staff about,
company.
the nature of
The
it.
company roots began in 1957.
And then I wanted to talk a
In
little bit more about
1963, the company,
Attorney General's
operating as a live
comments about the meeting.
circulation company, the
Suspect
company
you might-
developed a sales campaign to support
So
local
she
sports
said
teams
she is,
and
fully
not-for-profit
expects to accept the
organizations.
recommendation.
They can be reached at
If that's the case,
1-800-531-3131
should she just recuse herself from the case entirely,
or BB.
uh,
BB.
avoid any
The author is
appearance of
the
playing
CEO is
there?
Arthur
And can you
W.
tell us whether or
Conway.
not the White House and the President are involved in that decision?
I can tell you that the White House and the president
Let's add an S
were
before
not
dial.
involved in that decision.
America A.
I will leave it to the Attorney General to describe the role that she will play and the process that the Department of Justice will undertake as they conduct this investigation. The
Williamsville,
President's
here it is.
expectation is that this investigation will be handled
Oh.
just like all the others, which is that the investigators will be guided by the facts. They will follow the evidence.
Well, it looks like
And
Dial
they
America, one of
will
the nation's largest privately
reach a
held
conclusion
teleservices companies,
based on that
today announced an
evidence
expansion of
and
its contact
nothing
center
else.
operations and additional job opportunities
That's the President's expectation.
located
of how
on
it should be
105
handled.
Earhart
I think
Drive.
the Attorney General in her
Amherst
most recent comments
International
indicated that
Park,
was
Williamsville,
her
New York,
expectation about how this,
14221.
will be handled, but I'll leave it to her to describe
That
what
is where
role
the
she will play
location of
and
ear
what process the Department of
was
Justice will follow
installed.
in conducting this investigation.
She said she understood that the meetings would cast a shadow on the investigation. I guess, do you think that now?
For more information, contact Jennifer Corngut or Cooper Katz and Company for Dial America,
I'll let her describe
917-595-3059.
the meeting, and if it's had any impact on the investigation, I'll let her describe that as well.
It's Corngut.
This is something that is being handled completely independent of the president and completely independent of the White House. Jeff?
Josh, just to follow up on that, you said
I only
that
want
you
to do
had
the
had
training, that's all.
Have you since, and is he frustrated about this issue and the fact that that meeting took place?
Jeff, I have not raised this directly with the president. So I've
Well,
not
we don't have a
discussed,
check to give you. We
this
can
particular
only
piece of
write you a
news with him.
personal check.
But what I do feel confident in telling you, even though I have not discussed it with him,
Oh, what's
is
personal
that he
about the
believes that
personal
this matter
check?
should be handled without regard to politics.
Well,
And he believes this investigation should be conducted based on facts.
you know, H&R Block
and
is
not
located
based
at
on the political affiliation or the
somewhere.
political standing of anybody who may
Where's
be
H&R
involved
Block?
in it. That is the way that these kinds of investigations have been held, have been handled in the past.
Where's
It's the way that
H&R
these kinds of
Block?
investigations have been handled throughout President Obama's tenure in office.
Karen
It's his
Bass.
expectation that that's how these kinds of investigations should be handled in the future.
Karen Bass.
Does that suggest then that you would also be supportive of her decision, as
Wilshire.
she's articulated today, that she will accept the recommendations of the FBI and not?
It's Johnny Cochran's location.
Well, I
We
think
have to
President
move on with the
feels,
show. Let's see.
strongly that is a decision that she should make without regard to his opinion about it. These are
Yeah, we've
independent
got it.
decisions
Thank
that
you,
should be
Oshkosh.
handled by the Department of Justice. And it's appropriate
Personnel
for the Attorney
checks
General to
and H&R
determine
Block.
what her role
We're
is. She's
inhibiting
spoken
the
to that
cure.
today,
Inhibiting.
and, that
We're
is
blocking
appropriate
the
for her to
solution.
do. And frankly, my view of
We're
that matter, or
blocking.
even the president's view of that matter, is not relevant.
Karina
This is an independent investigation
Bass.
that is intentionally
In
being
ABC
shielded
News,
from
featuring
any
David
sort of political
Muir
interference.
Moving on to
and
the next
Elizabeth
thing,
Vargas.
the president Tuesday.
Only on
Can you
ABC.
give us a sense of the message that he intends to bring to
Look,
that?
it's Mr.
Do you
Potatoes.
have anything more to
It's
say
John
about Bernie
McCain.
Sanders and how
Mr.
will he be trying to
Potato.
attract voters for her in that state?
Yeah. Well, look, I don't think anything the president has to say on Tuesday will be
It's Johnny.
a particular surprise to those of you who have been covering the president for a long time. The president obviously has had an opportunity to evaluate Secretary Clinton, both when they were competing against one another on the campaign trail, but
Suggested
also when she was
aborted.
serving this country as the Secretary of State under President Obama. And over the years, the president has developed a deep appreciation
Over the ear hurt. I
for
agree.
her toughness under fire
It's Style
and her
America.
commitment to a set of values that the president shares.
Route 105.
So that those attributes, that character, those
Santa Fe.
values are principally the reason the president believes that she is the best person to succeed.
Was there a reason
in
that
the
we
Oval
only
Office.
trained only?
Those are the reasons that the president has decided to support her campaign, and I think that will be the essence of
Bro, we only trained at
case that he will
Client
make on
Logic as
Tuesday.
well.
All right, and lastly,
Radiological dispersal devices.
allowing for a rerun.
Can you guys explain radiological dispersal
The
devices?
far-right party a second chance at trying to achieve office. Are you concerned about that
And
ruling?
the Home
Or
Depot.
more broadly concerned about the rise of the far
And I'm
right?
saying no.
Jeff, I didn't see the news about the specific ruling, so I'll have to take that aspect.
Hello,
of the question, but I
CBS.
think the president has spoken more generally about the question that voters, not just in the United States, but around the world, will have to face in terms
Thank you,
of
Alex. A lesson is
how
correct.
countries want to engage in the world. And, obviously the Austrian people will make their own decisions about who they believe should lead their country, but
Thank you, Divide.
politicians in Austria certainly
And thank
have
you, Mark of the
a strong
Beat.
case to make about the way their country has benefited from engaging with their partners and allies across the continent of Europe. The president certainly made a strong case about how the United States of
Suggestion
America has benefited
aborted.
both economically and from a security perspective when it comes to our engagement
When it comes
with the
to is
world.
correct.
And whether that
Oshkosh
is
Bagosh.
trade agreements that
Well, let's take a
expand
Twitter
economic
question.
opportunity for American workers and American
Dear
businesses.
Pink Shorts, we love your
Or
show.
National security alliances.
We're
that
trying to
keep us
figure out
safe.
what are you guys talking
The United
about?
States benefits from using
Is it
our
about
influence
something
and
we
using
wear?
our advantages to advance our interests around the world.
Anonymous?
That is
Well, we can't
certainly
answer
been true
that.
over the
We can
course of
only
his
say
presidency. He
that,
believes that President
it's-
Obama certainly believes that
it's
his
Bass Pro Shops
successor is somebody who should
related.
continue that strategy. Okay, Mark.
It's
Judge,
the
can I ask about
memorial.
This report that I gather we're getting on
Buffalo
drone strikes.
Memorial. Buffalo Sabres.
And the executive order that the president.
It's Bass
planned
Pro.
to
We're not gonna
issue
lie.
Along with it. Why the need for
We're blocking
some greater
something.
clarity in rules on drone strikes? Does the president think that the numbers
It's
show
a
that
personnel block.
too many
Personal check.
civilian deaths are more than he was expecting?
Yes, civilian
Well,
deaths. is
Mark, I
correct.
can't speak to the specific numbers. I do anticipate that
I don't know how many numbers of them.
the Office of the DNI will.
I'm sure it's in the
have some news to
millions.
make on this relatively shortly.
Casualties have been in the
So,
millions
They'll have some
with this
context to present
experiment.
alongside those numbers, but I'm not going to speak to them at this point. I also anticipate that there will be some news a little later today.
Yes, an anticipation
on
loan
steps
from
that the
H&R
president
Block
believes
is
would
available.
be useful in ensuring that the counterterrorism strategy that he has put in place,
Wait, we have a phone call
is
from Ansar. Hold on.
one that continues to be transparent
Yes, Lane Bailey.
and
Hi.
durable going forward.
Well,
The
I just
president
want to
believes
know
that our counterterrorism strategy
how do I turn
is
Ansar
more
off in
effective
here?
and
It's standard.
has more credibility
Yeah, how do we turn this off?
when we're as transparent as possible. There are obviously limitations
It's a
for
demonstration.
transparency when it comes to matters
It's
as
all
sensitive as
vehicles,
this.
all makes and models.
But the fact is,
Yeah,
these
he paused.
operations that will
It's
be the
UCLA. We were
substance
just there.
of an announcement
He's
later
got
today,
tooth pain. What else?
are the kinds of operations that just
They're
a couple of
listening and
years
they're
ago,
all vehicles.
we wouldn't even
Let's just put
confirm
that out there. God.
existed.
NFA.
And
He paused.
I think it's an
again.
indication of how far that we've come. that we're now in a position where we are describing the process for making decisions about these kinds of operations and being rather transparent with not just the American public, but with the world about the outcome of those operations, even when,
let's be honest,
the outcome is not entirely consistent with our intentions. Because the truth is,
let's be honest, it's all
goes farther than is even required by international law
it's
to avoid civilian
wisdom.
casualties. That certainly is a stark contrast to the adversary that we face that seeks to maximize
Close the
civilian
door.
casualties to try to advance their narrative.
Close
The
the
United
door,
States, on
Finn.
the other hand, goes to great lengths to avoid those kinds of civilian
We got it.
casualties. And when we fall short,
you,
or when
Anonymous.
those efforts are not
You're
as
welcome.
successful as we would like,
I'm from the
President believes
community.
it's important for us to be as transparent as possible
Close the door.
about those results. And in doing so, yeah, that may mean that there will be a little bit of negative press coverage in the short term. But over the long term, it will build the kind of credibility that is critical to the ongoing success of these efforts.
It's a Mulder. It's hands-free.
Is the president acknowledging that there were instances where civilian deaths, the possibility of civilian deaths were not
Maybe
properly
CBS
taken
can
into
answer
account
this.
in making targeted decisions?
Well, I think the architecture that the president plans
CBS went to a commercial
to discuss
that
later
one.
today, and by that I mean
Maybe Twitter can help us with this.
later today, but information
Is the
that we will be
NSA
able to
spying on
release
us?
on paper from the president later today. I just want to be, I don't want to ruin anybody's Friday afternoon plans here. So consider that a public service announcement.
It hurts.
The point is, the president believes that it's important to
Bluetooth
put an architecture in
technology.
place that reflects the
And
kinds
Apple
of reforms
Watches.
that this administration has implemented
You can't turn
to
them on.
ensure that proper steps are taken to avoid civilian casualties.
Well, I guess you got
and
my
to
own
ensure
dealership now.
that the operations that are undertaken are consistent with our national security
Take it
goals.
apart.
When you will recall that when President Obama took office,
Eula, that's
drone
correct.
technology was relatively new.
Yeah, I'm the only one who doesn't have one.
Again, it was
And a
something that was not
standard
discussed in this book.
vehicle. Standard.
And there were a lot of legitimate policy questions
It's standard. It's at mine.
about how this new technology and this new tool could be used to protect the American people.
Bailey.
And there is an extraordinary amount of work that's been done, not just over the last 2 or 3 years, but
Let's get
really over the last 7.5 years,
Shapes.
to
Shapes.
organize an
Hero.
architecture for making decisions about how to use this
Shapes.
technology and how to use this tool to enhance the safety and security of the American people. This
I
is
would
a tool
love
that
to
this
be in an
administration
apartment. I would
and
love
this
to be in an
president
apartment.
has used frequently in a way that has had a devastating impact
I'm in a
on the ability of
library.
terrorists
I'm in a
to
library.
establish a safe haven and use the safety of that safe haven to plot against the United
The
States.
new
and our
ID
interests.
program's over. Is that
So this is a powerful tool, one that has been used to great effect, and one that makes the American people
their
safer.
chip? Is it
But the president
over?
believes it's important for us to establish a structure
Their chip.
to guide how that tool is used, not just for the remainder of this administration, but into the next one.
Their chip.
And also
Is it
to
over?
establish a regular mechanism for bringing some transparency
Mechanical
to those
overhearing
efforts.
is correct.
And that includes at least some transparency
That's correct.
around those occasions when the outcome is not as good as we expected.
Accidental
Yeah.
college.
Does not the issuance of these guidelines imply some regret about the way things have
We
transpired?
want to overhear the
Well,
accidental.
I think this will be an easier conversation for us to have once you have seen
Ear, nose, and throat.
these guidelines. But because, and this is why this is important, the guidelines extend far beyond steps that should be taken to prevent
The
civilian
answer's
casualties.
no.
That there are a whole host of other questions that are raised
He knows.
about when this technology and when this tool can be used in an appropriate and in an
So it
effective
affects
way.
other questions.
So-
Dismiss.
Certainly, the question of civilian casualties
Since
is a critically
1982.
important one, both for moral reasons, but also for legitimate policy reasons
What's the
too.
concern about that?
And that certainly will be discussed in some of the language that you'll see.
Retroactive.
And
How
the
can we
report
help
that's
you?
issued by the DNI, I think, will illustrate the greater transparency that we're bringing to this. I also don't want to overpromise.
How much is
because
it? How much is it?
Not all of the questions will be answered by the material that is presented. And
How
I think
much?
that is an indication of how difficult it is to be completely transparent about matters that are this sensitive. But I
How
think it would be
much?
very difficult to deny the remarkable progress that has been made over even just the last couple of years, where we have gone from refusing to
Couple of
even confirm that
hundred?
these kinds of operations are taking place to now
Well, we were
disclosing
thinking
proactively
500
not just the fact that they have taken place, but to chronicle some of the
because we know.
outcomes, including those that are negative.
Excuse me, negative outcome. Why not include Afghan and Iraq and Syria in this?
We know about
organization?
50 contiguous states
Because
of federal questions
and we'll have a more robust explanation of this, but let me just take a shot here.
with an unfair advantage.
Operations that are carried out by the Department of Defense
No one makes emails.
already have a regular mechanism
The patent office.
for disclosing the results of those operations.
It's a Patriot
So,
Act disclosure.
So you regularly get news releases, for example, from Central Command
Unwarranted.
detailing individual operations that take place in Iraq.
We don't have
for
to know.
example.
We don't have to.
And there have been a number of situations
Yeah, we don't have
where
to
the
know.
Department of
It's
Defense,
just-
after a careful analysis,
They make
has
the law.
disclosed that there were civilian casualties associated with individual operations.
So how do we help with
So
that?
there is a mechanism for doing that when operations are carried out by the Department of Defense. When there are counterterrorism operations
500.
carried out not by the Department of Defense, there was not an established mechanism for reporting the outcome.
It's
And that's
Bats
what's being
Pro
established
Shop.
today. And that's what will be reported for the first time today. Okay.
Bats Pro is right before the
Go ahead, Kevin,
impact.
sure.
Okay, so if I'm understanding you.
Who doesn't
the things
get
that are
Bats
Title
Pro
50
is
that
before
all
impact.
begin to move over
At
to Title 10,
HSBC.
which is more standard, and
It's the old
recognizing at the least
memorial
information about
building.
these certain strikes. Is that your understanding?
Well, we'll have, for technical questions, we'll be able to talk about this a little bit more today. But
It's right
the
before
point
the
is,
impact.
operations that are carried out by the Department of Defense
That's
already have a
Pro Shop.
mechanism for public reporting.
This
both
is
in
Auditorium
terms
Station.
of specific operations that are undertaken, uh, and the battlefield assessment that's done with regard to those operations.
Well, it's
They
Bats
also have
Pro
a mechanism
and
for
it's
reporting in
Wendy
those rare
Ralph.
instances where civilian casualties
Buffalo
that we go to
Sabres.
great lengths to avoid are nonetheless sustained. And so
Philip
there's a
Lytle.
mechanism for transparency that's built into the Department of Defense process.
Built in.
There has not heretofore been a process for disclosing specifics
In which
around
vehicles?
counterterrorism operations that are not carried out by the Department of Defense.
Fall under Title 50.
You got a new album.
Well, again, I've said the
Yeah, that
All right,
one.
I got
Yeah.
Quick on Hillary, will she be riding aboard Air Force One?
I don't have details about the travel arrangements for Tuesday at this point, but we'll keep you posted.
Possible.
Well, you can check with her campaign.
The
to
Sweet
determine how
16
exactly she's
network,
gonna get to
yeah.
Charlotte. The president will be riding Air Force One to Charlotte.
During the Brexit controversy, if you want to call it that,
Sweet 16, you're on.
Advisor Rice talked about contingency plans and things that happen, whether it goes one way or the other way. And I'm just curious if the White House has made a contingency plan in the event that Secretary Clinton were to be criminally indicted.
Again, I not that I'm aware of. I'm not really sure what impact
Hello,
specifically it
CBS.
would have on any specific policy around here.
Would the president then say, encourage someone else to run?
Can you answer the Sweet 16 network for us?
Again, that's a hypothetical situation. I think we'll get into that.
Okay. Last thing, you talked about an indication of how far we have come in disclosing not just often what has happened.
We're waiting for an answer from
As it
CBS.
relates to drone strikes. Is it fair to say then that you are satisfied with where we are along the continuum in this presidency in terms of disclosure, in terms of using the mechanisms as you have them to inform the American people and indeed the world?
Thank
when
you,
have
CBS.
realized drone strikes?
Yeah. Well, listen, I think we have made remarkable progress in both establishing an architecture
We'll accept
for
that as an
making
answer.
smart policy decisions about when to use this incredibly powerful
Yes, it's
counterterrorism
built
tool.
in.
And part of that architecture also includes
It's just, this isn't about
the
that.
extraordinary
This is
lengths
about,
that this administration goes to and our national security professionals go to.
this is
avoid
about
civilian
Lane
casualties.
Bailey
Of course, that stands in quite stark contrast
and the
to our adversaries
EEOC.
that seek to capitalize on civilian
And
casualties.
it's about where I
demonstrate
was
their
parked
strength.
on that phone
When in
call.
fact, what it illustrates is that they are cowards.
It's
Uh,
the gold zone bank,
what is true is we're talking about
manufacturers and traders.
technology and a capability that in many cases is unique to the United States.
We don't make these things.
But I think what is also true is that we are going to greater lengths in our commitment to transparency when disclosing this kind of information is also unique to the United States.
We don't.
And it's something that the president believes
personal
builds
check
a lot
these
of credibility into our broader national security efforts,
It's
but also
Nelly Sanchez.
adds
We don't-
credibility to our efforts to go after terrorists. I think I would just add that
Yeah, I add that. I would add that.
none of
too.
this capacity would exist,
This is an IMS currency.
and it would not
From MerriweatherA
be
Law.
used so effectively
I
were it
would
not
add
for the
that.
skill, professionalism, and courage
In
of our national
military.
security professionals
Skill in the military.
These are men and women.
I agree.
who do not seek the spotlight.
It's a project.
These are men and women who,
Project Schaefer
in some
Village.
cases, even when we are trying to be as transparent as possible, we're not
We
able to
have
discuss
a
them or their activities.
Chess shot explaining skilling in military.
As we prepare to enter the 4th
Project
of July
Schaefer
weekend, I think it
Village.
merits at least
Skilling turns into Military Road. Nike is
some
on
time
Military Road as
spent
well.
to expressing our deep appreciation
Hello, Susan
for their
Piccolo and
courage
John
and their
Hayward.
professionalism and their patriotism.
I'm an
in
IMS
keeping our country
currency.
safe. And it has been patriots like these individuals over the course of generations that have allowed us to establish
Suggesting
the
aborted.
greatest country on earth.
Last one
Featuring
for me
the All
is,
Network.
Did the president have an occasion to speak with the attorney general since the
PBS,
much
please
talked
move the
about
table.
meeting with President Clinton? Has
Too
he had
many
a conversation
channels.
with her? I know that she's made public comments.
What does
I presume
CBS
you
think
watched
about
them this
Channel
morning as
3?
well. Have they had a phone call?
Yeah, I'm not aware of any conversations that
We
they've had
need
in the last
Channel
couple of days.
3. PBS.
Michelle.
Do you agree with the Attorney General that having that meeting was not a good idea now?
Again,
Put
I'm
it
not
next
going
to
to
Nickelodeon.
second guess or offer my own backseat driving here. I'll let the
And
the
Blue's
Attorney General
Clues.
speak to her schedule and
Blue's
to her
Clues.
handling of the significant responsibilities that she has.
Suggesting
I mean,
aborted.
she just said that she
Left
would
leg
not
shot.
do this again because of the shadow that is cast. I mean, isn't that something that the White House agrees with now that this has turned into a couple of
Oh, we're
days
almost-
of debate over
Our
it?
show's coming to a
Again,
close.
I will
in
let
10 minutes.
the Attorney General speak to that.
It is a question of judgment, though, isn't it? And the decision to sit down for that 30 minutes or however long it was. Isn't that something that you would be concerned about? The judgment and, what it leads to?
Well, listen, I think when it comes to judgment, I think there is no quarreling with the 30-year history that Loretta Lynch has established as a highly competent, highly successful federal prosecutor. She's somebody who has prosecuted Democratic and Republican public officials for corruption. She is somebody who has broken up organized
We have to get
crime
back
rings.
to our personal
She
check
is somebody
from
who has held
M&T.
accountable some of the largest
From
financial
Dollar
institutions
America.
on Wall Street to make sure that the
Why?
interests of middle-class families are protected. She did that work as the U.S. Attorney in the Eastern District of New York, and that's work that
It's
she's continued to
Karen
do,
Bass.
even as the Attorney General, both in terms of fighting corruption in the most
Bass Pro
powerful
Shop.
international athletic institution in the world, as well as continuing the important work to
I just don't get
fight Medicare
Memorial.
fraud and make sure that taxpayer dollars that are dedicated to the health and
Buffalo
well-being
Memorial
of
Auditorium.
our senior citizens,
Memorial
wisely
sounds
spent,
like
that
bacterial.
unscrupulous administrators, scammers,
Can
aren't
you
able
please
to
help me
get away with it.
understand
So
my
she is somebody
resume?
who is remarkably tenacious.
I just want
She is
someone to
somebody who
help me explain
handles
it.
her responsibilities consistent with the values that are enshrined in our Constitution and consistent with the president's
Have I been
expectations
rigged?
about what the Attorney General of the United States should do.
Do you also then not quarrel with her saying that that was a bad idea?
Again, I'll let her
I
render her own
decline
judgment
tech
on that.
support with
Okay,
Time
and,
Warner.
On the drone report, even before it comes out, even before we see any
That's
numbers, some
material
groups are
support.
questioning how those numbers would be
Matt
arrived at.
Damon.
Since in the past,
Jason Bourne.
estimates on the ground or
That's
from
correct.
NGOs are larger. So what would you say about
You've got a pink shorts.
the effort that was made to find out
First
really how many
episode.
were built for civilians?
Well, the goal of being
Thank you,
transparent as possible
Jason.
is to settle on numbers
Thank
that are
you,
as accurate
Jason.
as possible. And I'll let the Director of National Intelligence discuss how exactly
We're not
the
releasing
numbers
that
that they present
information.
were arrived at.
It is.
And once they've had an opportunity to do that, everyone will have an opportunity to evaluate.
I do know a real Jason. Yeah.
Everyone will have an opportunity to evaluate how successful these kinds of
We have financial
operations are.
interests. We're only talking about
Possibility that this number, whatever it will be,
Dollar America.
wasn't
Why?
able to account for every death. Since I'm assuming there's some,
Why?
threshold of verifiability that.
Well, so I'll let the Director of National Intelligence speak to this because these are numbers that they have worked up.
So is it possible that the actual number would be higher than these numbers?
Again, I'll let the Director of National Intelligence speak to it.
Smoking Joe.
All right, Alex.
Said you feel confident the president feels that this investigation with Attorney General Lynch into Secretary Clinton's emails should be handled without
That's what
regard to
friends are
politics.
for.
But doesn't her announcement this morning mean that politics did rear its head here?
No, I don't think so. I think
Well, our show's coming to
again,
a close.
the
We want to
president
thank
continues
everyone
to
for
believe
tuning in.
that it is
Today's show's
critically
been sponsored
important
by
for people
883-4011.
across the country
American
to continue to
Experiment.
have confidence in our
First
justice system
Niagara.
at large.
I love a song.
And
Elisa one.
for generations, our country
That's
has
correct. Channel 4
followed a
WIVB.
tradition,
News 4
making
at
sure that our
5.
justice system is not used
The chewy
to against American citizens based on their
featuring
political
Philly
affiliation.
cheesesteak, ham and cheese,
A core principle
and
of the United States
pepperoni.
Constitution is that
and cheese.
the rule of law is paramount. And that
Conagra
everyone,
food,
including the President of the United States, is subject to the rule of law. And that
including
people are
18 members.
treated under the law the same,
Thank you,
regardless of whether they're famous,
218-1000.
regardless of who their supporters are, regardless of which political party
That's
that they're in.
considered a felony, making any amount of
And,
money over
This is an
$1,000.
important principle,
Common
the
law
president
forgery.
believes is worth fighting for.
Is that
His
correct?
Attorney General has said the same thing. And
It's Pam Leslie.
we continue to be confident that's what she'll do. What exactly her role is in that process, or what exactly the
It's Judge Baggett.
process will be as it's implemented by the Department of Justice,
It's
is
that
something that they should answer.
sticky, non-cookware
So asked
stuff.
you that her announcement this morning
It's
is
so
in any way
sticky.
related to the airplane.
Chewy, gooey, gooey,
Well, again, I'll let.
It's
Well,
Judge
look, I think it's pretty
Baggett.
obvious that that's exactly what
Yeah,
she's
it's obvious.
discussing today.
It's
But again, I'll let her words speak for themselves.
And then on Zika, we did a poll earlier this week where 73% of the public said they're okay with the level of the administration's funding proposal, but only 46% said that it should be approved immediately. Does the administration feel that they could have pitched this any differently?
Well, we've only trained only at Dial America,
Urgency into the public?
Listen, Alex, I
which is,
think this is the kind
add
of
an S
question that,
before Dial America.
frankly, should be
Client
probably more
logic,
important than
radiological
politics.
dispersal devices, located
What
next
we
to
have
Fox
here is a
News,
public health emergency. And that's not just
UTV,
that's not a phrase that I'm using by accident.
Unheard
or even
of.
a
What else is
phrase
unheard
that
of?
I've coined. This is what our top public health
That
professionals
is
say
what
about
we
the
don't
situation.
do.
And this is an emergency that the president and these public health
We don't
officials
direct energy
identified
weapons. We don't direct energy weapons.
5 months ago. And over the course of that time,
We want to
we've seen
thank
very little
CBS
movement.
and the White
the United
House
States
for
Congress.
today's show.
And this does raise significant questions about the Republican leadership in Congress. Republicans spent hundreds of millions of dollars,
We want to thank Karen Bass,
Spent-
H&R Block, Lane Bailey, on-site
days
customer
and days,
service,
if not weeks,
and
or months
parking in
on
front of the
campaign trail,
EEOC
making the case to the American
on
public
Main Street and the
about why
Hyatt
they deserve
Regency
to wield
and M&T Gold Dome.
the authority that's exercised by
It's gold on the
the
top.
majority in Congress. Now, presumably, they did that because they had an agenda they wanted to
Why is
advance.
it gold?
There's very little evidence that they have an agenda or that they've succeeded in
Oh,
advancing
let's
it.
ask
to the extent
Twitter.
that it
Why
even
is it
exists.
gold?
But it also, we can have that discussion if you'd like. I would like to. But
Because the
up
mint
to you guys
makes
to decide that.
gold and silver.
that also
Oh,
comes with an
that's
important
it.
set of responsibilities. One of those responsibilities is
It's
making
gold
sure
and
that
silver, the mint.
our countries and our governments
Where we gotta go, guys.
top
It's been MerriweatherA.Law
healthcare
in.
professionals
We'll see you guys on the
have the
re-air
tools and resources that
of
they
this
need
show.
to do everything possible to protecting
It's a
American
Quest,
people,
Johnny Quest.
including our most vulnerable populations,
You got
like
$2,000
pregnant women and
on a
newborn
free
children.
new Chevy. Conquest rebate.
And Republicans in Congress
And you
have
got the
utterly
45th
failed to fulfill that responsibility.
presidential candidates. Who's that?
I don't know exactly how they're going to account for that, but they certainly do have some explaining to do.
I know because
And I won't be surprised if it is a subject of some discussion.
you know,
across
it
the
blows
country
up.
while they're enjoying their 4th of
Well,
July.
we gotta go,
recess.
guys. Bye.
The president certainly feels
Yeah,
a sense
him.
of urgency about